Welcome back, guys. We are going to carry on working our way through some of the old replays that I saved because they were interesting fights. Now, I believe in this particular replay, I decided to go for a bit of a meme build. I wanted to see if I could get phoenixes to work en masse with their replicating unit ability. I can't remember what it's called, but basically when they die, they come back alive behind another phoenix that's currently alive. So as long as you've got at least one phoenix alive, they will keep replicating. They can only do it twice until, like, if they get killed a third time, they won't replicate again. But that was the idea for this particular battle anyway. I'm not going to spoil the surprise to whether it actually worked or not. So I'm just putting crawlers up front at the moment, just because I don't really know what's going to be coming at me, and in case they put something really close up, I want to rush them down because my phoenixes are really far back. So if I brought the crawlers far back as well, then the towers would be susceptible. But then I changed my mind and thought that's not a very good long-term strategy. So instead of playing for round one, I'd play for the long game and just accept the losses in the beginning. If they did deploy on the front line. But they didn't, they deployed further back. So phoenixes are really expensive. And so you don't really have much on the field if you go for a phoenix, an early phoenix strat. And because they can only kill one unit at a time, they are susceptible to swarm attacks. So I'm just saving up cash at the moment, not choosing any abilities because I want to get as many phoenixes as I can out, because I'm trying to play the long game and go for this ability, quantum reassembly, and so I want as many phoenixes as I can. Now I'm sticking some phoenixes back here. I know they're going to die, but with quantum reassembly they will come back alive and come behind some of the phoenixes down here. So it'll distract the enemy, potentially get a few kills, and still survive to fight another day down here. Now I haven't gone for quantum reassembly straight away because I haven't got that many phoenixes out. So it's unlikely that I would have any surviving long enough for it to be useful. So I'm just going for the shield ability at the moment. Now, because these are spawning in this turn, they're not going to actually do anything this turn. But unfortunately, they protected the flank as well, so they're not going to really do anything at all, to be honest. But, like I say, they will respawn with the quantum reassembly. But we still haven't got enough here to protect the towers, unfortunately. But we are playing the long game. So as long as I don't lose enough HP to actually lose the battle, I'll eventually be able to get enough cash out to potentially protect the towers. Potentially. So I've gone for intensive training because I want to try and level up the phoenixes as much as possible. Which is what I'm doing here. bringing in more phoenixes, because that's the strat. It's not advisable. I don't recommend doing this. It's not a winning strategy. I just wanted to see if I could pull it off. So the phoenixes up there did a good job at distracting the enemy units for quite a while. But we still haven't bought quantum reassembly quite yet. There isn't really any point in buying it at the moment because we haven't got a solid front line. So all I'm doing is just trying to hang on as long as possible. So I can't remember what I do in this round. This round I try and protect the towers. Now, sledgehammers are good. Not good, but pretty good against large units. They're not the best against large units, but they are pretty good. And obviously the snipers are really good against large units. But I've got all of these Mustangs and crawlers that I need to deal with. So I'm starting off with Vulcans to try and deal with all of the smaller units. I'll stick a shield out just to buy them a little bit of time. And it bought them just enough time to be able to start firing before the snipers started firing at me. So we got quite a lot of kills there with the Vulcans. We are still alive. The crawlers came in and distracted the snipers for quite a while. But still not quite enough to hold the front line, unfortunately. We are dangerously close to losing now. So, one last ditch effort to protect the towers. So, more Vulcans it is. And I believe I put some range on them so they don't have to run quite as far forward. Yep, there's the range. When I say run, I mean plod. They're definitely not doing any running. Still haven't got the quantum assembly yet, because we just desperately need to protect the towers. The quantum assembly isn't going to do anything if the towers keep falling. So as you can see there, because I didn't put a shield up, these Vulcans in the middle got murked. If I'd have put the shield up, then we would have had a lot better success there. So that would have probably been a victory if we put the shield up. So I think the correct decision here would have been the parasitic ammo, but I wanted to go for the missile strike to see if I could take out these snipers, or at least damage them. But they could easily nullify this with a shield. A single shield would prevent this. But that's a terrible placement for them to put all of the units so close together. But like I say, a single shield would protect them. But if I was them, I would expect me to be buying the parasitic ammo, not a missile strike. So they brought out steel balls to try and deal with the Vulcans, but the steel balls aren't going to get close enough. 4 Vulcans with long range and ignite. The ignite does huge amounts of damage. Well, not huge amounts, but it does decent damage to armoured targets. So without the ignite, these steel balls might be able to get in, but we've got all of these phoenixes at the back. As you can see, with ignite on the Vulcans, even armoured targets go down really quickly. But once again, I didn't put the shield up. Oh, I know why I didn't put the shield up, because the steel balls would have just wrecked it immediately. But we've got quantum reassembly now, and here comes the potential comeback. So, place your bets. Do I manage to pull it off? Or was it all in vain? So I've gone for orbital bombardment, but like I say, once again, they only need to put a couple of shields down to protect against this. They have also gone for orbital bombardment. Now, foolishly, I didn't realise, because this is quite an old replay, I didn't realise that the orbital bombardment can hit flying targets, so I thought all my phoenixes would be safe. And I thought that the damage wouldn't be very high to the Vulcans, so I didn't put any shields up. But I soon found out that the orbital bombardment can hit flying targets, which was a bit of a surprise when it happened. So we're just bringing in more Vulcans. We've got our quantum reassembly on the Phoenixes. All we need to do is hold the towers, and the quantum reassembly should get the job done. Unfortunately, I ran out of supply, so I couldn't put any shields down. So I bought some emergency supply. So we managed to get 2 shields down, but we could have really done with at least a third, potentially a fourth. And this is when I realised that orbital bombardment can hit the flyers. It didn't actually do much damage to the flyers, to be fair, but I think that's because I've got the shield on them, the energy shield. But we're just about hanging on and replicating. That's what the strat is all about. Hanging on and replicating. And we're now on virtually the same health as each other. So it all comes down to this final round. So, are you changing your decision on who you think's going to win? Or are you going to stick with what you chose in the last round? So I'm just leveling up the Vulcans, because they are the key to this strategy. Well, the Phoenixes are the key as well. It's a Phoenix Vulcan combo, which is a pretty rare combo. Like I say, I wouldn't recommend it. I've tried it multiple times and it's almost impossible to pull off. So I brought out some Stormcallers because I thought that might be a decent way to reach the snipers at the back. We've put incendiary bombs on the Stormcallers, so even if they miss the target, they can burn the targets behind. Now they have gone for a wasp flank, which is a very good decision. Wasps are very good against phoenixes. Certainly close, but they broke through and got to the tower. So, inspired decision by the opponent to take them wasps. Without the wasps, it could have been a different story. And he won by 10 hit points. So there you go. Like I say, it's not a strategy that I recommend, but I thought it was an interesting replay. So I hope you enjoyed it. Join me in the next one, and we'll see what the next replay holds. Take care, guys. See you soon.